I'm back for round 2, baby, and we're talking some Siege Megatron. This is the second figure I got in the War for Cybertron line, and man, that Optimus figure just set such a high standard for me that I could not wait to see what they did with... Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet here and say that the War for Cybertron line is good, just not perfect. And Megatron here is a testament to that. Now, I'm also going to be comparing this guy to Siege Optimus quite a bit, and hey, look at that, size comparison, less than a minute into the video. Can you tell I'm a professional at this? I have one video. Check it out. Now, of course, I'm gonna start off with talking about the stuff that I like, and I think the sculpting on this figure is amazing. The character design follows the exact same steps as Optimus did, with having a G1 accurate robot mode, with some modern design sensibilities. The paint on the guy still has that battle damage, silver dry brushing look, and again, just like Optimus, I don't really mind it that much. It adds to the battle-worn look of the character, and that's exactly what I expect from a Megatron design. As for vehicle mode kibble, it's all on his back. It's honestly not that bad. It's just kind of these treads that are pasted on his back, and it doesn't look too bad. Now, as for articulation goes, his head is... His head is on a ball joint, and you can get it looking fucking places. Looks like I can't go another minute without talking about his neck flap does not plug in anywhere, and this kind of kills the entire figure just by itself. I mentioned how Siege Optimus has a neck flap that was kind of annoying, but it's manageable. This is just a million times worse. Not only does it not plug in or maybe like thoop into place, you can sink the head down, and when you go to fish it out, you have to carefully line it up with the body, and that's just annoying. What made them think this was a good idea? The shoulders are able to rotate. They go in and out. This shoulder spike thing can kind of get in the way of some posing, and that's kind of annoying, honestly. The elbows do swivel. They can also bend. The neck flap may not have a thooping position, but the arms sure do. I get why they did this. It's for transformation purposes, but this is just annoying to deal with. His wrist also doesn't have a swivel. What? Okay, this might have been annoying, but this is kind of crossing the line, man. Why doesn't motherfucking Megatron have a motherfucking wrist swivel? Freaking Optimus Prime had a wrist swivel. Oh, but it's for transformation purposes. You see, it has to be folded into the arm for tank mode. That is some bullshit. Here's just a completely random figure that I just kind of pulled out of my ass. It also transforms by folding the hand into the arm cavity, and it also has a wrist swivel. This is just pure incompetence. The waist has a swivel though, so it's not completely incompetent. You can still find positives in hell. The legs move out all the way, forward all the way. It has a thigh swivel, knee bends, and it also has a nice ankle pivot. I just want to spend some time to briefly mention how the ankle design kind of baffles me. First of all, this block piece here is attached to the foot, and it goes inward once you pivot the ankle, which seemingly prevents the ankle from doing a full pivot beyond this point. So why the fuck is it there? Also, notice how the foot is on like a pin joint here? You would think that you would be able to move the foot forward and backward. You cannot. And that's such a missed opportunity too, because look at all this empty space over here. There's clearly room to do that, but they didn't do it. Alright, I think I'm done railing this guy's innards now, so why don't we get him into tank mode? Shit, I forgot accessories. Fuck. Alright, I think I'm done railing this guy's innards now, so let's take a look at his accessories. You get his classic fusion cannon, which looks nice and smooth and G1 accurate, but mysteriously, it's hyper detailed on the other side for some reason. It also has this mysterious rectangular cutout in the front here. I don't know what that's about. The inside of the barrel is actually pretty well detailed. Of course, any sane person would only play plug it into his arm. But you also get another gun. Oh shit, wait. Fuck, where did I put it? Here it is. This is what the second accessory is supposed to look like. If you split this part, rotate it around, and flip it and peg it back together again, you get a big ass sword. I really like how massive this sword is. It just feels so gladiatorial, which kind of makes sense since Megatron was like a gladiator before the whole warlord thing. Now, getting rid of this version of the gun, this is what it's kind of supposed to look like, as just gray plastic and a more silvery gun. But of course I modded mine, and I did that by just simply unscrewing that little screw in the hole there, and just popping it from the gun. I did that because the sword was kind of getting annoying, and it also makes plugging it into the arm a bit easier. But I mainly did it so that I can do this. I just love that this line of figures has just covered in 5mm ports where it makes sense, so that I can do shit like this. What can I say? I'm a sucker for G1 accuracy. Alright, let's get this guy into tank mode so I can go to freaking bed already. Tank mode. Having Megatron turning into a tank just fits so nicely, and this is a really nice looking Cybertronian tank. The details are quite nice. Megatron kind of transforms into this H-tank design, meaning that the treads kind of form an H, you see. As for undercarriage, peekaboo. I don't really mind undercarriage kibble all that much. I like these little yellow bits of paint as headlights. And before I move on, I have to mention that this gun is also not the gun he actually comes with. Again, this is the gun he actually comes with. It's more silvery. But with the sword actually installed, his turret can in fact rotate, which is nice. I'd be concerned if a tank couldn't do this. But unfortunately, because of that sword, it can't rotate up. It's completely embedded into the tank mode. That fucking sucks. But now that I modded my turret so that it doesn't have that stupid sword, the turret can actually swivel upward. It doesn't exactly look the best. I wish the hinge was like right here instead of in the back, but I vastly prefer this to the alternative. I kind of like the tank mode more than the robot mode, which is kind of unfortunate. But what's even more unfortunate is that it just didn't have to be this way. With a few minor tweaks, I could really grow to like this version of Megatron. Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Now we're talking. This is the Netflix repaint version of Megatron. These Netflix repaints are only sold at Walmart for some reason, and they're meant to more accurately resemble their appearance in the Netflix series. And oh baby, I had to get me a version of Megatron with this repaint. The figure is cast in this dark grayish color, and the rest of the figure is completely caked in this nice silver paint. Even his gun has additional paint apps here. The legs have this nice weathering effect. The Decepticon symbol is bigger on this figure and is nice and scratched up. He's got these battle marks on either side of his chest. Not only does this figure have a better paint job than the normal version, his head joint is completely stable. You actually have to make an effort to flip this thing up. When moving the head, it just doesn't move, and they actually fixed one of the biggest problems with this figure. At first I thought this figure was nothing more than a repaint, but no. This makes me a happy virgin. One other thing it greatly fixed, the ankle joint is now completely stable as well. There's some actual friction in there, and it isn't loose in the slightest. In terms of tank mode, the new silver paint definitely enhances the look of the figure. You got all this nice shading. The silver paint they used on top of the gray plastic really complements the look of the figure. Oh, and by the way, this version of the extra fusion cannon rifle sword thing is the version that comes with this guy. There's less silver paint on this one, but it definitely doesn't look inferior, that's for sure. I almost forgot to mention that he rolls. I need a new fucking base. Overall, I have to say, if you're gonna buy any version of Siege Megatron, definitely get the Netflix repaint. The base figure, I would say, is below average in terms of the quality of the War for Cybertron line, but this Netflix repaint definitely does this figure some sweet, sweet justice. Something the repaint also comes with is these two little blast effect parts. The War for Cybertron line introduced a bunch of these little blast effect parts that vary in terms of shape and size. Oh fuck, where'd it go? And you can plug them into any 5mm port, such as the ports found in most of the cannons. The War for Cybertron line also has these tiny little pegs scattered throughout their body, which is another consistent feature that allows you to peg these blast effects onto those as well. Again, I really think this is a straightforward and fun idea. The repaint also comes with this thing. It's like an orange dagger thing. It has nice paint and sculpting, but you can have him wielding it as a sword thing, but I don't feel like doing that. It also transforms from a weird looking blade into a dog thing. I'm just really glad that the Netflix repaint fixed some of my gripes about this figure that I feel kind of broke it. I'm not upset with owning this version of Megatron, and you shouldn't either. Definitely recommend for any Megatron fans out there, and I'll see you later. Subscribe for more shitty content.